So, today I wanted to speak about the foods for beauty and especially, well, for people over 30 perhaps, would be, or 40, but any age, right? But of course, when we are over 30 or 40, and particularly 40, things start to get a bit slower. All the systems start to get a little bit slower. So just to tell you, I am 52 at the moment, end of 2022, and I've been, because I'm going to talk about food, I wanted to share a little bit about what I eat, etc. So I've been vegetarian since 2000, and actually I didn't go vegetarian or vegan mostly because somebody told me it was just my body that stopped accepting anything that it was animal derived. So this was before social media and people influencing us in that way. It was just my body telling me to stop eating this. I just see food as something that is for the body more than other concepts, moral concepts and all that. I'm an animal lover, I've always been, and I'm very happy that I don't eat the animals, but it's not because of that I am vegetarian or vegan. So this is what I have to say. I've tried many ways of eating, including raw food for several years. Vegan, from birth, I cannot really digest milk very much, so today I only eat honey and a little bit of local goat's yogurt. So that's it, but no animals as such. Alright, so this is what it is, and again, this is independent of your diet. What I'm going to talk about is independent of what your diet is. I don't really focus on that. I focus more on this is food for beauty, and let's do this. So the first thing that I'm going to tell you is about the vitamin B, and so the vitamins and minerals. If you have ever researched food for beauty or supplements for beauty, you will come across biotin, which is part of the vitamin B complex. So what I suggest is to take a vitamin B complex, and not the synthetic one, but from food. I will give some suggestions underneath. Perhaps if I find a brand that I resonate with, or if I know the brands, I don't have to find them, but if I want to recommend a brand, I will just post everything underneath this video. And also to tell you that I've been in the wellness beauty field for over 20 years as well, and I own a shop in Switzerland, only in Switzerland. So if I post anything from Switzerland, I cannot ship it to you. It's only within Switzerland. And I've also owned a superfood supplement company before, so I know a little bit about all of this. So back to the vitamin B. It is essential, the vitamin B complex, the B12, the B7, and I would, as I said, buy a complex. So, you're covered. You don't have to think much about it. Otherwise, you just take the B12, or B12 is fundamental for everybody, and B7, the biotin. So, but food-based, so that you can digest it well. Same with vitamin C. We all know vitamin C is very important for the skin. I would recommend, again, foods with high content of vitamin C is way better than synthetic vitamin C, and you can find this if you're in Switzerland. We have sea buckthorn, which is wonderful. We have the sea buckthorn, and Switzerland and Germany and the area here in Central Europe, it's very common to find sea buckthorn, and it's very high in vitamin C. The same with rosehip, so you can also find that. And otherwise, you can also, go for the other supplements that have vitamin C. Also find always the food-based vitamin C, because your body will understand it. If it's synthetic, this is not about being against or in favor of synthetics or natural, but the body does not really understand a synthetic material. What is it going to do with it? So food-based is always better, and your body will digest it much better. And so these are the ones that everybody talks about, and then the omegas, also the omega-3 and DHA if you don't consume fish. These are very important for the skin. It will, it's just fundamental if you are vegan or vegetarian, because you cannot get it from anywhere else. Again, I'm not very scientifically oriented. I can read and research a lot of scientific papers, which I do actually, but then the experimentation and with me and my clients is the real thing for me, because in science you can prove anything you want. If you want to prove that this is good for your skin, you will find ways of proving it. If you want to prove that this is not good for whatever, you can also prove that. It's the way that you manipulate the science. I'm not saying that science does that, but it's the way, the focus that you have will always be like, okay, I want to prove that this works. You will always find a way of doing it. That's normally what happens. But of course, having said that, there are foods and supplements that are obviously better for this or for that. And for skin, omegas are very important to keep the hydration and the skin barrier in good condition. And same with probiotics. We're all talking about probiotics, and every part of the body has a microbiome, its own microbiome. It's not only the intestines that have a microbiome, it's also the skin, the intimate parts, the nose, the mouth. So, we are, I don't know really the percentage, but we are mostly bacteria. And so obviously this food that you eat, and now we're going to a very general way of seeing food, the least processed, the better. It makes no sense to eat fast food or highly processed food and then use very expensive creams or skincare in general or hair care, because it is the freshness, it is the quality of the foods that you eat that is going to influence your whole body, including the skin. So generally, the more like unprocessed food you eat, the best for your body. And more importantly even than the food that you eat is how you assimilate your food, because you can be eating the best food in the world, but if you cannot digest it, if you cannot assimilate it, then it's doing nothing for your body. So it is very important to, when you're eating, to be with your food, not eating and doing other things, just being with your food, because if you are present to the food that you're eating, you're going to understand if the food is good for you. It's your body that tells you what food is important for your body. So if you eat and after a few minutes, half an hour, 1 hour, you're not feeling well, you're feeling tired or too excited or just out of balance, then you know that what you have eaten is not good for you. your body. So that is the only way to find out what is good for your body. It's just that you are present to the food that you're eating. This might be like one of the most difficult things to do, actually, that you're just not distracted with other things when you're eating. Of course, you can be eating with other people and be, even talking and doing things, but still be present at least to how you feel afterwards. And then slowly you will find out what your body needs at any specific time. And so this is a general rule, but of course the freshest, the better. I mean, this does not mean that you're going to eat all raw food and processed raw food, because some people don't have enough digestive fire to process the raw food. So cooked food is also good, and I'm not going to enter here a discussion of if it's raw is better than cooked, because in the end, again, it's what your body needs now. But we can all agree that highly processed food isn't good. So incorporate fresh foods, mostly if you can, seasonal and local, and that's what your body is needing. Now it's winter time, and here in Switzerland, and the body does not need pineapples, for example. Fortunately, we have persimmons, kakis, and tangerines, and all these beautiful things, and that's what the body wants. And so focus on that, not because you heard that it's good, or I'm telling you that it's good, but it's just common sense, right? That we eat at least 50% of local foods. And yeah, I actually eat like almost 80% of local foods and seasonal, and the rest I just eat other things. But yeah, that will influence your skin, the beauty of your skin. Yeah, a lot. Sometimes that's all you need to do is clean up the processed fats, and especially the processed fats and sugar, because the sugar will destroy the balance of your skin big time, really. And also if you have dysregulated sugar levels, your skin will suffer from that. Again, I'm not here to tell you the science. You can then go and search online about all these things. This is my experience of 20 years of working with myself and others and researching and being in this world. Processed sugars and processed fats are just not good for the skin. But good fats and omega-3 and DHA is very important for the skin. Now, these are the most common things that you hear, but now other things that are not maybe so much talked about. And it's silica. Silica, it's part of the skin and the bones and the connective tissue, and it's very, very important for the beauty of the skin and the hair. So silica exists in, for example, horsetail and nettle. These are my two favorite sources of silica, and they should be in our diets if we want beautiful skin and hair without worrying too much about other things. So I have some products in the shop with the horsetail and nettle, and I'll link them in the description box below. But silica is part of the structure of the skin as much, and it works with collagen to promote the formation of collagen, and it's just super important. So I don't think that silica is very easy to take, because horsetail does not taste very good, and nettles also don't taste very good. The way that I do it is that I incorporate it in my food. So, or I have this collagen boosters from Anima Mundi, which then it's blended with other yummy herbs like cinnamon and all of that. So the taste of horsetail and nettle is just covered up, and that's the only way that I can use this. Also, nettle seeds are incredible and much tastier for me. So that's what I eat also, nettle seeds, which are also excellent for any adrenal problem. If there's anything that gives you strength without spikes of energy like coffee, is nettle seeds. There's so much strength in those little seeds. It's just pure magic. So nettles and horsetail are incredible for beauty and of the skin. When I say beauty, I mean health, right? Of the skin and hair. And so the collagen boosters are a way of taking this, because then there are also other ingredients there that also have the properties to help your skin produce more collagen. And the other thing that most people probably, I think, don't really think of good for the skin is medicinal mushrooms. I'm always talking about medicinal mushrooms because they are really magical. Not magic mushrooms, but the medicinal mushrooms are magic. They can do so many things, and there are so many medicinal mushrooms. Chaga and reishi are very important, again, to balance the sugar levels of the body, and in that way also help the skin incredibly. And also, as we know, medicinal mushrooms are very good for the immune system, so it strengthens the immune system. It doesn't boost it, but it strengthens, it nourishes the body, and also the immune system, the nervous system, and the skin. And this will be very important also for the skin. So I encourage everyone to take medicinal mushrooms, especially during the winter. But like, for example, chaga is grown in very, very cold grown. I mean, it's not grown, it's wild. Although nowadays we have also grown, but it's wild. It's and it grows in very cold areas of the world, right? And the strength that this mushroom has is transmitted to our bodies, and that's the kind of strength that we need, is this resilience that we need both internally and also that reflects on the skin. So mushrooms for me are one of the most important ingredients, products, and I don't like to call it products, but foods for our skin that most people don't really think of them. They are also very good to apply externally, and some of them are excellent for nerve regeneration, which, if you think about it, there's nerves underneath the skin, so it will also help keep everything nice and tight, and the muscles and the tendons and all of that will function much better if you take regularly medicinal mushrooms, in particular reishi, lion's mane, and chaga. Chaga, I think, more important during the winter. And well, I've been talking about a lot of things, and I have a little paper here in front of me to remind me. So what else do I want to talk? I want to talk about spermidine. You might have heard of autophagy, which is a process in the body that when it's happening, it creates the best conditions for your body to age better. Go and research. There will be much better ways of explaining this to you. But what I mean to say is, for example, when you do intermittent fasting, which is one of the best ways to also regenerate your body, is to do intermittent fasting. When you do intermittent fast, your body enters into autophagy, which means that your cells are not working like for digestion or doing other things. They are cleaning up your system, and in that way your body regenerates. So this happens naturally during the night when we don't eat, or if you prolong the non-feeding times during the day, meaning that you eat only within a certain time, and what is called intermittent fasting. So you prolong the time that you're not eating. This is the easiest way. Well, I wouldn't say easiest, but this is one way of entering into autophagy. So means that your body is in autophagy, so it's regenerating. Another way of doing is that there are certain herbs and foods and supplements that induce autophagy, and one of them, and for me the easiest to incorporate in our diets, it's spermidine. Spermidine comes from, it exists in food, in certain foods, and especially in wheat germ. So spermidine is like the extract of wheat germ that it's taken, the oil is taken away, because the wheat germ oil is very easily gets rancid. So it's extracted out and it's just the wheat germ. And yeah, spermidine for me has made a huge difference. There are a lot of spermidine products out there. I think, personal opinion, mostly are overpriced. As usual, look to see where the spermidine comes from, what it is produced from. If you have wheat intolerances, there is a herb that I forgot the name that also has a lot of spermidine. So there are some certain supplements that come from, I think, probably Japanese knotweed. Yeah. I take spermidine from wheat germ, but I am going to start exploring the Japanese knotweed, which might be even better than wheat germ. So, but spermidine is incredible. It's best taken away from food, again, to induce autophagy. I take it last thing at night before going to bed. It also helps sleep, by the way, and it just helps the body function better. And or first thing in the morning, away from food. There are other things I'm reading here in my little paper that I have here. Hyaluronic acid. Hyaluronic acid is what makes your skin plump, helps your skin plump, and you see a lot in a lot of creams nowadays. I believe that taking it internally makes more sense. Putting it externally is okay, in my understanding, but not to use every day. I would suggest you research more about that and see what works for you. I believe that taking it internally is beneficial, and externally only once, twice a year do like a cure of hyaluronic acid. And the last thing that I want to say, two more things. I don't know how many products I've recommended, but anyway. The last thing is hydration. More than enormous quantities of water that probably the body does not need is the quality of the water. And yeah, that's what I wanted to focus on, the quality of the water. See wherever you are if the quality of the water is really good. Drinking water directly from the tap, it's not the best way, because the way it goes through the tubes of the water tubes, then the water, which is highly structured, is a highly complex element, water, and if it's when it goes through all those tubes, it's completely destructured. So you leave it to sit overnight in whatever container you choose, or at least 20 minutes, so that the water regains its natural structure. This is not woo-woo. This is like how water is made, and there are many scientific studies to show this, and actually also the way that it has always been. Because yeah, again, I would recommend that you research if you're interested, but the structure of the water is very, very important. So drinking water from the tap, you need to let it rest, and if it's from a bottle, like a plastic bottle you buy in the supermarket, it's not structured water, so it will not hydrate you. It will not hydrate the cells really, or it will hydrate much less. It is important to look at the quality of the water, even more importantly than the quantity of water. The last thing that I wanted to talk about is about inflammation. If you take all of these beautiful things and then your skin is inflamed or your body is inflamed, I think most of us have some level of inflammation in the body. And the ones that have gone through periods of disease like myself and are still recovering, we have a good amount of inflammation going on in our bodies. So of course it reflects on our skin. So there's plenty of information out there about inflammation, and what I would like to highlight is really stress management, if that's possible. I almost don't like these words, but really paying attention, mostly being kind to yourself, just being kind. Being kind to your skin, being kind to yourself, and being kind does not mean being like passive but just being kind. Know that you're going through a difficult time. If you are going through a difficult time, just know that it's a step-by-step process to get better. And so the inflammation, the chronic inflammation, there's no one like pill, anti-inflammatory pill that will resolve everything. It is a little bit more complex than that. And when I say kindness, I mean taking the time to listen to what your body, what your mind, what your emotional sides of yourself really need to calm down the inflammation. And yeah, and externally, again, everything that I said, or internally, I mean, the foods, all these foods are in one way or another anti-inflammatory as well. So yeah, I hope this helps. Also for inflammation now, I just remember the zinc is very important. It's very helpful actually. And zinc oxide, the non-nano zinc oxide, which is the most pure form of zinc, which exists nowadays in sunscreens. It is incredibly healing for the skin, but this is externally and internally, of course. But it's incredible for the skin. When your skin is very inflamed, you can put topically. I have in the shop several types of zinc oxide products, and you can search there, or outside of Switzerland you'll find in other shops. But yeah, zinc internally and externally are incredible for the skin because it's very anti-inflammatory and also anti-infection and all of that. All right, I hope this helps, and as usual, just reminding you that this is the way that I see things, is not the truth. It's just my experience and my research and my work with myself and clients, and coming from very an unhealthy state of my body to a more stable, harmonized, and yeah, happier and harmonious place. And yeah, just wanted to share this with you, and all the best to you. Bye bye. Bye for now.